folks, Justin here. Gonna hop onto the ladder with the Big Dumb Sorcerer deck, version 2.0. Deck list is on the left. Deck tech just went up. See what we can do. Currently sitting at rank 3, making our way up. Games with this deck are pretty slow, so haven't been able to climb maybe as quickly as we could with something else, but this deck's a lot of fun. So playing against KOLENTO K. Probably not the KOLENTO that is famous for playing Hearthstone, but it might be. You never know. Playing Assassin, some removal spells looks pretty nice. So we will hold on to those, not get greedy, and get a handful of 9-drops or something like that, which is always a possibility when you're running a ramp deck or a control deck like this. Opponent not keeping any of his cards. So let's see what happens here. We want him to... Alright, okay. Atromancer, this is the kind of 9-drop draw that we were talking about, so we will see how this develops. Mournhold Trader. So I don't think we Crushing Blow that. I think we Lightning Bolt it in one turn. But that's a pretty good 2-drop from our opponent. Follow-up is an Arcanist, so he has a way to remove our token we generate and keep himself from being at card disadvantage because he'll get a card from the a spell from the Arcanist. We have the choice to we have the option of Schemering next turn or Crushing Blow next turn. If our opponent has a Witch, this is obviously not long for this world. But it might mean that our Schemer survives another day. Okay. Interesting. So this is that deck, huh? Let's go ahead and keep him from drawing cards. Let him break a rune. See what we get off of that. And another 9-drop. So when I was saying 3 9-drops were in our future, I wasn't kidding around. 5 Magicka keeps us from doing much besides dropping one guy. But Ice Storm is going to be pretty good here in a minute, I imagine. Plunder. Okay. What did you plunder into, matey? Okay. Preserver of the Root. So our opponent's got a lot of cards for a guy who's been pounding our face like this. Hopefully he drops some of his hand onto the board and we can get some value out of Ice Storm. But we are definitely playing from behind. Also on the table next turn is just throw our Schemer into his Werebat and elixir out a Nahagleave, which this deck might have difficulty dealing with. But yeah, that the Telvanni guy into Plunder, pretty good for our opponent. What do we have now? We have a Curse. Okay. Wow, so he just got both his creatures out of Ice Storm range. That is pretty good. So we're going to have to drop Nahagleave then. He's got a Leaf Lurker. He can get away with minimal losses here. But that was a perfect play around our Ice Storm. Alright, what's our opponent's follow-up here? So we imagine we're playing against a deck that's running Hexmage. We don't have an answer in hand to Hexmage, which is unfortunate. Next turn we can Treeminder into Preserver of the Root, or we can Ice Storm. We can drop a Night's Shadow. Getting that online sooner rather than later would be nice. Okay. and a Telvanni Arcanist. So, I believe what we need to do is that, followed by, see what happens with this. And we did hit, so we're going to remove the Arcanist. And drop our Preserver of the Root. So next turn, I'm really going to want to develop the Night Shadow. Want to start clawing back our life total, and as our singular drain creature, it is super important to get working with that. And we don't have a whole lot of other good plays. I mean, we could Desperate Conjuring Nahag Leave into a 9-drop maybe, but I don't think it's going to survive the turn. We could lay down Tree Minder, and Desperate Conjuring doesn't seem great. We could Ice Storm, doesn't seem real great right now. So, we know he has a Firebolt in hand, as well as whatever he just got from the second Arcanist. He played both equipments that he got from his Plunder. So, he has a unknown spell. He has Firebolt, and he passes the turn. Okay. Well, does he have Ice Storm in this deck? Now this could die to Firebolt and Lightning Bolt, which I think I'm okay with. Now if he has Ice Storm, we just gave him a great clear because he has that Firebolt in hand. But I think from the looks of the deck, I feel like this is the right play, but then again, I don't know what the opponent's doing necessarily, so. And next turn we can start developing our 9-drops that we've been accumulating for a while now, which is always a pleasure. I think Blood Magic Lord will be the first. We've had some good creatures die. Getting back a Moonlight Werebat, for instance, if through a Raised Dead would be spectacular, but that would require another sacrifice to Sheogorath, and I'm not sure that I have anything left to sacrifice. No play from our opponent. I'm not going to break a rune yet. We want to make sure we get one more hit in with our Night Shadow. And our opponent has what now? Dawn's Wrath. Okay. That's pretty good. And a Crystal Tower Crafter and a Lesser Ward. Okay. Well, I think we just... Let's go ahead and break one rune. And... do we Tree Minder? We don't have a lot else to do. I think we just drop the Blood Magic Lord. Raised Dead. Cool. So we have 9 cards in hand, so it's possible if our opponent hits us with a flurry of damage this turn that we will lose, we will overdraw, but I think what we have in hand right now is pretty damn good, so pretty comfortable with the way things are looking. Dawn's Wrath and Plunder, though. This guy's been getting serious value out of his Arcanists. And there's a Firebolt. Okay. And a Lightning Bolt. Okay. Queen Barinth. Okay. So, let's start with Raised Dead. I'm giving that ward too. Okay. Alright. Start with Raised Dead. See what we get here. Another Blood Magic Lord. Wow. Okay. Let's swing. Let's Corpse Curse. Let's lay down some Tree Minders. Cool. Feel pretty good about this. Alright. Didn't see that coming. This requires some thought now. Well, what is our plan now? That's tough. We have 4, 9 damage we can do. 9, 10, 11. Right, because 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not quite enough. We could Supreme Atromancer. Let's Desperate Conjuring. See what happens. Maroc seems spectacular. Let's Cunning Ally. Okay, good, it triggered. Let's Firebolt. Let's Histgrove. And let's get another 9-drop. Cool. Well, that seems pretty good. 9/9 Warded Guard. Always a pleasure. I did not see the Dres Tormentor coming. That was a really cool play from our opponent. I wonder if my opponent's running Ice Storm too. Okay, he wants to gain his 6 life. Immolating Blast. Wow, this guy's cards have been spectacular. Gosh. I don't even know what to say about that. That's been unreal. These Arcanists are doing work. So if this lives, we got a pretty cool turn with our Atromancer. What else do we got here? Ice Storm, Curse, Leaf Lurker. Okay. And Shackle. Well, let's Atromancer. And we hit a Prophecy from our opponent. But unless it gains them life, they're dead to drain life, so. Not quite. Cool. Well, hey, that's a game with the new 2.0 version of the Sorcerer, the Big Dumb Sorcerer deck. I hope you had fun watching. I had fun playing it, and we'll be back with more.